A very good evening to one and all. We welcome you all to our 20th session of SNTTC, and this session is all about value education. So, I heartfully welcome the resource person of the day, Mrs. Jayavani Jayaraman, who is going to give you several insights, valuable insights about the importance and significance of value education. The stage is all yours, Mrs. Jayavani.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, one and all. And really, I'm so excited today to have this section. And I would like to thank Mr. Ravikant first for what I am today here. And thank you, sir, for sharing your expertise with us for today also. So let us go for the section. And sir, can you show the first slide, sir, the picture slide? The next slide, sir. So what did you see here? Please free to chat. Please make sure that your video is on. If your video is not on, at least you please ask questions in the chat box at any time. What do you see in this picture? Anyone? Okay, let me ask a question then. What is missing over here? What is the difference between the previous century and now at present scenario?
In the previous century, good evening, ma'am. In the previous century,
good evening,
have everyone is so listening to the teacher, but in today's scenario, it is that the parents are supporting the child and not listening to what the teacher is saying.
Yes, ma'am, you're right, ma'am. What is missing over here is actually the moral values over here is missing over here. So today we'll be seeing about the significance of value education at present scenario, and we should feel that value education should happen inside the classroom, because as a teacher, it's our duty to inculcate the good values to our future generation. First of all, if anything happens inside the classroom, whatever is happening, first they'll ask inquire the student what happened, why it has happened, all such things. But the question now directly asks to the teacher what it is happening, all such things. So what is lagging over here is the moral values is lagging over here. Even we have to start this in the primary sections itself. Even we have to cultivate in this in the primary sections itself. We have to start all these things. And when we start about this moral values, first what we have to do is we have to have a good communication system with the children, where in a classroom, the classroom atmosphere should be very like interactive sections. Now you are all not at all chatting with me. I don't know. At least you please respond to the chat box so that it will be easy for me to interact with you always. So first we'll see what is a value education first. Sir, please show the what is a value education. Let us tell them. So here, what is value education in the sense? So value education refers to the teaching and learning about moral values, ethical principles, and social responsibilities. The word value is derived from the Latin word valere. It means ability, utility, importance. And evolutionist philosophers believe that values are life expanding. So developing individual values requires, or developing discipline, or developing the integrity among the people, or whatever it may be. The first initial stage itself is to inculcate the children about the value education. So we'll see about the next slide. So why do we need about the value education in the sense? So when we say about why do we need the value education, it teaches what is actually required in everyday life that makes life easier for both self and society. And it builds up healthy society also. Values are like rails that keep a train on the track and help it move smoothly, quickly, and with direction. They bring quality to life actually. So value education, no, it will always make the students, or it always make a strong relationship. It makes the personal growth, and it makes the individual developing skill of a child or of a child. So value education is really very important thing, where we have to develop in the children's mind in the initial stage itself. Okay. So when we talk about this value education, is what is value education is all about in this sense. Sir, please next slide, sir. So value education is nothing but when we talk about it's our own responsibility, or sharing and caring, or doing our best to what we are just doing it. Respect. When we talk about respect, we how we respect our elders, or how we respect our parents, how we respect our society, how we respect each and everyone, and how much freedom we use for ourselves, how much honesty we are being. Okay, it is about the trust. It is about understanding each and everyone. It is understanding, mutual understanding, and how to just forgive, the forgiveness, and about is all about not only this is about more things are there about when we talk about the value education. When we talk about the value education, it keeps on like we added like a it one then another, it will keep on repeatedly. We used to have the uh, value education, like when we talk about it builds strong relationship, and it will be leading to fulfill our society. So when we talk about this value education, no, we all talk about all these things, especially moral values. We used to talk about this. So here I'm just going to elaborate only 4 topics about the value education, how we are just fostering our universal core values all. Sir, please, the next slide, sir. So when we talk about this value education, no, the first thing what we are going to see about is fostering universal core values. When we talk about this fostering core values, no, first one what we see here is integrity. When we talk about the integrity, first thing what we used to have, no, integrity values are always essential principles that guide individual to act with honesty, ethics, and morality. And for example, we can say that practicing integrity values leads for us for the inner peace, confidence, or respect for oneself and others. And we always have to remember that um, the integrity is a continuous process that requires effort, commitment, and self-awareness. By embracing these values, no, individual can cultivate a strong sense of integrity and make a positive impact in their personal and as well as their professional lives. So, for an example, we say that if a child is refusing to do something in the sense, so it means that the child is having a strong moral values that he refused to change his habit in a wrong side. The next one is about discipline. So when we talk about the discipline, no, discipline values are essential principles that guide individuals to develop self-control, responsibility, and perseverance. So when we talk about this discipline, it's a code of behavior actually. So when we talk about this one, no, this discipline values, no, the individuals can develop by the skills and habits necessary to achieve their goals and to build strong relationship to fulfill their ideas. And when we talk about this justice, the value of justice includes respecting and protecting the fundamental rights, and to be biased based on the race, gender, religion, and standing up for what is right, and even in challenging situation. By holding this justice, no, justice values, the children can create equitable society where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. So this will be the fostering core values. And second thing, when we start to see about this developing values in individuals, when we talk about this developing value in individuals, no, is always requires self reflection, intention, and practice. So there are several steps for developing the individuals. The first one, what we are seeing here is physical. So when we talk about this physical, when we talk about this physical development or physical values, it is an individual involves cultivating the habits and traits that promote physical well-being, health, and performance. For example, engage in activity that promote physical development, such as sports or dance or martial, or to practice and grooming the students' behaviors or their habits. And by developing these physical values, individual can cultivate a strong sense of physical well-being and overall health also. So the next one is about emotional. So when we talk about this emotional, always when we talk about this emotional, we should be like, for example, shows empathy among others. So instead of showing the sympathy, so that I'm not telling that sympathy is bad, sympathy is also good, but empathy is often more powerful in building connection and providing support. So emotional values are always, when we say emotional, sometimes will be positive emotionals also will be there, negative emotionals also will be there, but reacting for emotional values is very important in individual behavior. So how can we just make them to be make them to control about all those emotionalists? We have to make them to be power in what they are just doing it. And the next one is intellectual. When we talk about this intellectual, by developing the intellectual values, individuals can cultivate deeper understanding and knowledge, and more informed and thoughtful decision makers. So this will always lead for personal growth. This will always lead for personal growth and improve relationship and contribution to the society. And the next one, what we'll be seeing is spiritual. When we talk about the spiritual values, the spiritual values are always connected with the emotionals also. So when we talk about the spiritual values, are beliefs and principles that guide an individual connection with something greater than themselves, one supreme power they used to have, so like a supreme power, we used to have faith or gratitude or forgiveness and inner peace. All such will cultivate in the spiritual values. And the next one will be about the moral. So when we talk about this moral values, we should always teach universal values for the children. For example, to focus on the values like respect, to focus on the values like empathy, honesty, and kindness. So when we talk about all these things, we should relate with real life examples in making this moral values. When we say about this moral values, we can just make, for example, in a class atmosphere, when I'm talking, we can just make some storytelling method or a role play method by giving some moral values or moral conclusion for the children to cultivate the moral values. The next one will be the aesthetica. So values leads to appreciation for aesthetic and cultural expression, and uh, for creating enriched lives through beauty. So taste of beauty will be there when we say about this aesthetic values. So the next one will be about promoting values in society, leading to individual and society transformation. So when we talk about this society transformation, or when we talk about all those things, we can just tell about that it integrates the value across the curriculum. So when we talk about value across the curriculum, it, it encourages students in community service to apply values in real life situations. So always in real life situation, they can able to maintain themselves. So the last one will be creating a holistic education system. So by promoting a values in the society, we can create a ripple effect that inspire individuals and collective growth. So leading to a moral values of that. So like it creates a ripple effect for the individual transformation and encouraging the creativity and the critical thinking, and develops the personal development. Overall, when we talk about this value education, we should always remember that it is a lifelong journey. We should think that it is a lifelong journey with dedication and persistence. can always cultivate a strong sense of values that guide your actions and decisions. So I just want you to make sure that do you understand about all these four topics what I have told, or if you want anything to clarify, you can just chat to me, or you can ask questions from this. So no response.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Creating a holistic education system. In this,
Yes,
I think we can also add, I mean, not only the moral values from our learnings in our from our books and academics, but also from our uh, I mean, like the sports and games, and like how we behave with our friends, then the society, everything comes in
yes,
it.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's
Holistic
all, everything
education.
will be like interrelated only. You are exactly right, ma'am.
Interrelated.
Everything will be interrelated with the society and with the persons where we are, where our atmosphere, where we are inside the classroom or inside the society, or all those things, ma'am. You are right, Roja, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Good evening, ma'am. Bhavna here.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening.
Yeah, ma'am. Just now you said that it's a lifelong journey, like
Yes,
creating
ma'am.
values in a child, right? But we are given
Yes,
a
ma'am.
child only for a particular span, be it for 2 years in senior secondary or 4 years in the primary section, or say 4 years for the secondary one. So
Yes, ma'am.
once it is not inculcated in the initial stage of life, how are we
Yes,
going
ma'am.
to deal with the scenario once we are handed a child of or a student of, say, adolescent age?
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you think it's going to be instrumental inculcating all these values in them, ma'am? And if yes, please tell about the ways we can.
Ma'am, actually, your question is really a very good question, ma'am. For that, I just want to,
Thank you, ma'am.
we have to cultivate the moral values in the primary stage itself, ma'am. For example, if we start knowing ABCD only, we can start knowing the letter. And if we start knowing the letter
Absolutely,
only, we can
absolutely.
just, yeah, if we start knowing the letter only, we can start knowing a word. So that word only
Yes,
will
ma'am.
help us to make a sentence, and that sentence will make to help us to make a paragraph and then future essay, and then we can just start writing page by page and page. So we have to,
Absolutely.
this is all, yes, ma'am, this is all, like each of every teacher, every class teacher, it starts from the nursery till the teacher, till the end of the education system. Each one have to play a
Yes.
responsible role. It is our class, our classroom management itself. We have to keep a moral instruction class, or we can keep any other activities relating this moral stories. And we have to cultivate the children in the starting stage itself, ma'am. And by giving respect to
Yes.
the teachers when they get inside the classes, when we talk with the seniors, or when
Ma'am,
we talk with
that's
the
what is,
elders.
excuse me. Ma'am, my question is that
Yes, ma'am.
only, that if they are not taught it in the beginning of their, schooling, how are we
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
deal with the same? All these
That,
values getting inculcated in them in later period of life, is it going to
so
be practical? Can we really do that?
really, we can do it, ma'am. See, we can just make the children to have some moral. Suppose if in case we are in the grade six and the children does not respect anyone, and his or her behavior in the classroom is entirely different. So the teacher knows about that particular child, because when she or he is differently behaving. So it is a challenging situation of that particular class teacher to handle it, or the subject teacher to handle it. So what they have to do is, no,
Absolutely.
they have to just teach, or they have to tell them about the challenging situations of what he is going to do it. Sure, it will be reflect, ma'am. It is a you have to
Okay.
take or 10 to 15 minutes of daily life of the daily section of the child, and personal talks and personal motivation and personal
Basically, it's a collaborative approach, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, it's a collaborate. So we can just ask the help from the other teachers also. So whenever we are just, we can have a smile at him. We can have a conversation, volunteer conversation with them. We can ask him a question like, what you do, what you ate, like that all. So in communicating with the child, often, no, he also will feel free to talk with us. He also will start chatting with us, and that is a time where we can just hold him in hand and we can just make it, ma'am. Children are like more like a clay, ma'am. We can just move it. Everything is in our hands, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for asking this question, because I'm really thanks, ma'am, for asking this
Thank
question.
you.
Sir,
Thank you.
Ravikant, sir, how do you respond for this question, sir? What I said is right, sir, Ravikant, sir?
Of course, ma'am, like it is a gradual progress that happens. See, like I can actually say value education is the only subject wherein teacher can use all her creativity as to tell it in different forms, share the values in different forms through different activities and through different things. And it can happen. You know what's the problem? The present day problem is that there is a chance for students to move from one school to another school. Initially, when
Yes,
it was
sir.
the system of Gurukulas and Pathshalas, so there was a plan which value has to be inculcated in the students at which point of time. Today, as the children are moving, and few schools have value education, few schools have don't have, and the subjects and the values or the lessons which are given in the schools are different from one school to another school. Okay, this problem is arising. Okay, so at least if not at school
Absolutely,
level,
sir. That's why I asked that question
yes,
because
yes.
being a secondary or senior secondary teacher,
Hmm,
we hardly ever get time to talk about all these values on a regular basis.
hmm,
So,
hmm.
and the students of that age are reluctant to listen to somebody who keeps on talking about values and morals because they might not be having the same background, uh, the ambience and environment at home. So it becomes really challenging for the teachers to inculcate it in that particular age. Yes.
Exactly. But I would like to say that we can integrate value education into our regular classrooms also. The subjects which we are
Yeah,
teaching, maybe
absolutely.
math or maybe science or social, we can actually, social and language teachers can easily integrate
Imbibe
what do
it.
we say,
Yeah,
values. Every
absolutely.
story revolves around a value, definitely. Math and science
Yes,
teachers
absolutely.
can sharpen their brain and try to integrate some value, depends upon the experience of the teacher as well. So when you are actually integrating a value into the core concept, your subject or concept of your subject, the child finds it interesting. Arey, there is a value to learn from this concept, isn't it? So that's how it is. Yeah. Yes, Jayavani ma'am. Let's
Yes,
continue.
sir. Yes, sir. Whatever. Yeah, by seeing this picture, what did you what do you feel after seeing this picture? Can anyone say that? What do you see in this picture actually?
It's empathy. How you feel about physically disabled people.
Yeah, not it's
Maybe.
about physically, and not it's about that. So this is what we used to talk about the justice value. Okay, this is what we used to talk about the justice value in education. No, so every children started to tie their hands at the back, and they also started to paint with their mouth. So this one picture will show that when we start teaching a child from the beginning, they will just enjoy learning. The children will start enjoy learning. Yes, yes, teachers.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, sir. Next slide, sir. So, as a teachers, know where we get all the sources for inculcate the children about these values. In the sense, first thing will be the self. So the self values will comes from the parents, teachers, and the friends. When we talk about the siblings, or when we talk about the influence values through teachings, no, we can say that easily the children can have their values. The next one, we will talk about this organizations, no, So this organizations also will be defines what is important for the children to shape the organization values. So teamwork is there, quality program and achievement is there. And when we talk about it, enhances the satisfaction, loyalty. And when we talk about this organizations, no, definitely it will loyalty will be there. So when we talk about this values of the organization, they leads to the success and sustainability and identification of certain organization. Yeah, this organization is good. This is very loyalty for us. It supports our values, like that. All they will be saying. So when we talk about this values, all no, we cannot judge anything because values are always like non-material things when it comes back. So when we talk about the non-material things of love, affection, or the parents love all, no, so all these will comes under the sources of values only. So how can we just get from the written materials of these values? In the sense, through textbooks we can just get it. How can we get from the textbook? Is the textbooks are always designed like moral story books is there, and they have activity based books is there, and picture based questions is there, case based questions is there for the students to read out and to come out with the different answers. So all these things will develop the moral principles in the writing materials. And when we talk about this uh, tradition customs, no, it teach the cultural values and practices the explore moral and ethical dilemmas. And by incorporating the values of the tradition, the children will understand their own and other culture heritage and practices. So when we talk about this society, values are taught in values are taught in educational settings to shape students' values, behavior, and worldwide. For example, the promotion of social justice and equality, and teaching democratic values and citizenship, fostering environment awareness and sustainability. Everything will be comes under the society only, and these values can be the society values can be taught in our curriculum. How can we taught in our curriculum? Is as I said, now the social teachers, now they'll always have the history, and they always have a subject. So in by that subject, they can be engaged and responsible to the citizens, and who contribute positively the community and society as a whole. So when we talk about this nation values, no, when we can help the students to develop a story sense of national identity and civic responsibility and the global awareness, preparing them to contribute positively to their nation's development, to global commitments. These values can be taught through the social studies and history curriculum. Even in the government classes also, they can just do it. So the next one, when we talk about this nation values, no, so national holdings and the celebrations and the educational field trips, by taking the children to the educational trip, by taking the children to the excursion, we'll be showing some particular sceneries about the sculptures or whatever, and we just promote the nation spirit among them. And when we talk about this religious, no, when we talk about this religious sources of values also, the methods may vary depending on the religious tradition and educational settings also, and the children can be taught through the prayer and worship services, or integration into the subjects like literature also, and interfaith dialogues and understandings also can be done in the classroom also, and these can also help the students to develop the responsible and civic minded behavior, appreciation for religious heritage and guidelines. Always they used to have the respect of other religions also. When we talk about this religions, when we talk, no, it is somewhat sensitive also. So they have to accept, they have to respect the other religions also. So that also we can just inculcate them in the classroom by integrating the prayers or all faith prayers, or by doing all these things, we can just make them it. And when we talk about this religions, no, respect for diversity is also is very important thing. And the spiritual growth and awareness is also is there. And when we talk about these types of values, no, personal values is very much needed at present generation. So when we talk about this personal values, no, always when we get inside the class or when we just step outside, no, the person who behaves in the society, they should have um, some sort of acceptance towards the society. So where can they have these personal values? In the sense, it will be always starts from their home and from the schools only. So when we talk about the social values or professional values, all are interrelated with the society and all are interrelated with the teachings only. When the teacher teaches about the professional values, or when the teacher is about the social values, they have to tell about the moral or the spiritual values also. And when we talk about this behavioral values, no, when we talk about the behavior, some children will be somewhat rude, some children will be always be calm, some children will not know how to react with others. So this behavioral values also we have to just check it out with the children, and we have to make them very strong in the behavior values and the personal values. So it leads to the growth of the individuals. So always the individual transformation of the children, as if I told already, it is lifelong learning. It is a lifelong learning. They have to be creativity. They have to do some critical thinking to promote the continuous learning also. So these are the sources of value. So apart from this, also there are many sources of values where we can just have a video clippings about some stories, or some video clippings about moral value film stories like that. Or we can just have sections in the classrooms. We can bring it easily in the curriculum itself. Yes, anything you have to share regarding this sources of values? Anybody else just wants to tell about the source of values or types of values? You just you have anything
Ma'am,
else
in
to
the
say?
sources of values, like, hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please tell me, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me, ma'am. Can
In
you
the
hear me,
sources
ma'am?
of value, the peer, with the peers also, from the peers also we can learn, they
Yes,
can
ma'am.
also
Actually,
be a source of value.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Actually, what we are doing, actually, everybody will be having a fear, ma'am. So first to break that fear, no, we have to complete trust. We have to trust the children. We have to trust them so that they won't have fear with us. If whatever they have done, also they'll come and tell to us directly. Yeah, this I have made. So we have to trust the children. Trust is very important for breaking the fear in the minds of the children, ma'am.
Sorry, ma'am, it is not fear, it is peer. Peer. Peer, peer learning.
Peer group.
Uh,
Okay. We are talking about peer group.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, ma'am. So peer group
yeah.
always, no, ma'am.
I am
Yeah,
talking about, yeah.
What you said is also correct, ma'am. When we talk about this peer group, no, so definitely it affects us. So what we'll do it in the classroom also, no, we'll have all set of students. We should not actually say that topper or below average or average. All we should not tell to the children. But what the children, what the teacher will do, she will make the slow learner, or she'll make the student who is not at all talking or interacting with anybody else. The teacher will make the student to sit nearby the particular children who is very talkative, so that the another child also start talking. So that is a way that peer groups will develop, man. So the teacher knows exactly which what type of peer group we can go and add to this child, like that. If there is a slow learner, they'll go and make them to sit nearby the topper and make them to help in studies. Or if the child is really naughty, the teacher will make the naughty child to sit with a nearby a calm child, so that he don't do or talk anything else. If the child is really not wants to talk or wants to behave something else, no, who's really well maddened in the class, they will make them to sit nearby them. So there is many things the teachers will do. They know very clear how come the class children are. So the children and the teachers, no, they will be just doing act according to the peer group.
Yes, ma'am, you're right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So even a president of India, no, Draupadi Murmu, and he has just told that
Dear
the value
participants, the
education should be
meeting
added.
might come to an end within 1 minute, so kindly rejoin the session for the rest of the learning. Do not forget to rejoin. Continue, ma'am.
Okay, sir.